Hey YouTube, Sandy Frank here. This week's episode of Hobby Talk, I wanted to talk about really exciting stuff going on this week in baseball. The World Series gets underway Friday night, and it's going to be one of the great World Series in many years. I mean, I loved last year because of my Rangers, but this year we have the two biggest stars of the sport, the two players that are larger than life. We have the modern day Japanese Babe Ruth, Shohei OHTANI and the Dodgers, going against the just beast that is Aaron Judge and the Yankees. Really awesome. Can't wait for for this series to start. Excuse me. Getting all choked up over it. It's going to be great. Shohei, of course, have had one of the all-time greatest seasons this past year with the 50-50 season, 50 home runs, 50 stolen bases. He's continued to hit some big home runs in the postseason. This will be his first ever World Series. I believe it's both players' first ever World Series. We'll get to see them on the ultimate stage. Now, Shohei has done really well on the World Baseball Classic world stage. It seems like he rises to these big occasions. And he even said this week, this was his goal, is making it to the World Series. So he's very pumped. It's going to be great. Can't wait. I'm going to watch this World Series very closely. Not as closely as last year's because it was my team. But as far as a dream matchup, you can't really complain too much about Dodgers versus Yankees. There's been so many Dodgers versus Yankees World Series in history, and they're definitely the two most storied franchises in baseball. And it's going to be really, really cool, and there's going to be huge moments. Now, the Dodgers have another megastar on that team in Mookie Betts, so this is not a team that's just Shohei OHTANI. But it is really cool to see OHTANI on this big stage, see what he can do. And the Yankees also, this isn't just Aaron Judge on their team. They have Juan Soto also, another fantastic player. So right there you have four MVP. They've won MVPs. And I think Freddie Freeman's won MVP also on the Dodgers. He's kind of banged up, but you know, so much of the top baseball talent in Major League Baseball. So Major League Baseball has to be super happy about this because they've got their two biggest stars, their two mega stars will be on the center stage in the World Series. It's something that they could never have before because Mike Trout was the big star for so many years, but the Angels always were terrible. Or maybe not terrible, just very disappointing and couldn't make it to the postseason. And even Shohei, with Mike Trout there, were never able to get to the postseason. So Shohei goes to the Dodgers, a very strong team that got stronger, no doubt. But this is something I think baseball needs, is the gargantuan matchup that this is going to be. And I'm definitely super excited. Guys, put down in the comments, what do you think about this World Series? Are you super pumped for it? Do you think you just don't like the Dodgers or the Yankees? You think they've played in so many World Series, who cares? To me, I think it's good for the game to have this huge matchup and bring more eyeballs to Major League Baseball. And these two stars, their stars are at the brightest they can get right now. Both coming off of monster seasons. Shoe-ins for MVP of the National League and the American League. Even though they had some competition, it's got to be Judge and OHTANI for MVP, I'm pretty sure. And they're capping it off with World Series appearances. What do you think is going to happen? Who do you think is going to win? How many games? It seems like a lot of these teams, this is just a side note, have you been noticing a trend in the playoffs where teams are not using starters very long? like very short outings. It's been really interesting to see this. I mean, I don't love tons of pitching changes, but it is definitely a trend this year in the playoffs, where a team they almost kind of want to have a bullpen game, where a starter will go 1 inning, and then they bring in somebody, just continue to chain down to the end of the game with these relief pitchers. It's an interesting strategy. I hope it doesn't continue long term, but at least it'll be an interesting World Series to see how this strategy works. I kind of like having a dominant starter, but I think teams are getting maybe very cautious with starting pitchers and great arms, and not wanting them to exert themselves too much. And the analytic data seems to suggest that it's not good for pitchers to face batters a third time. It's all part of an interesting strategy that's taking place in this postseason, and I can't wait to see how it all unfolds in the World Series. So my pick, I think Shohei is going to have a huge World Series. I think he has been dreaming of this moment to play in the World Series for decades, and I expect the Dodgers to win this with Shohei having a great World Series, and I think he's going to want the World Series MVP. He's going to be doing it all out there. Will he pitch, though, is a question. Some people thought he might make a pitching appearance in the postseason. I don't know. It'd be really cool if he closed out the World Series like a Game 7 and come in like he did the World Baseball Classic, like come into the bottom of the ninth and seal victory by facing Judge. How cool would that be? It's just like one of those great baseball moments that you can only dream of. But who knows if the Dodgers feel that he is ready to attempt to pitch anything. So I think that the Dodgers will win, I think in 6 games. I don't think it'll get to 7. The Dodgers are really strong, great offense, and they seem to have some good pitching, even though the pitching hasn't really shown itself yet. But the Yankees are really good, but it just seems like they're not quite on the same level as the Dodgers. But it's going to be a great World Series. I hope the big stars have a great World Series and no one is like doing terrible. Giancarlo Stanton had a great ALCS, won the MVP of the ALCS, so he might be the big star of the World Series. We'll just have to see what happens. But it's going to be fun. What do you guys think? Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more videos, and have a good World Series, Shohei. Cap off this amazing year. Later.